What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are having a look at the brand new character that I was able to pull from the legend ticket that I got from the Grand Feast Sugo Fest rankings, which was Carrot, Dogstorm, and Cat Viper. So if you guys don't remember, this is it's classified as a normal legend that came out during the end period of the half anniversary in late 2024. This character came out alongside that dual Odin character, right after, you know, Big Mom and Kaido dual units, and then we had Roger, Rayleigh Gaban and stuff. Like, this was the final part of that celebration. I literally forgot that this was classified as a normal legend and surprisingly pulled it from the tickets. So yeah, that was definitely a pleasant surprise to wake up to this morning. So today I thought I'd go ahead and make you guys a video in regards to what this character is capable of doing. So when this character came out, a lot of people kind of gave this character flack for the design, and I totally agree. This character is designed pretty poorly overall. It definitely feels like, hey, it was kind of built for this one piece of content that came out, and then after that it was kind of like, yeah, you can just never use this character ever again. And it does really feel like that. Like, you really have to go out of your way to use a character such as this, because one of the big things that makes this character really annoying to use is the superclass condition for this character, where not only do you need to use their super switch to combine into their dual form, as you're seeing right here in this clip, but you also need to have 3 of the listed characters on the crew in order to actually trigger the superclass ability. And the 3 characters that you need, I mean, they're pretty accessible in a way. You know, it's basically all of the Scabbard characters. Kozuki Odin also counts, but also characters like the Straw Hats and Yamato and Wanda. So there's a pretty big pool of units. Like, I don't think you're going to be stressing for finding units to fill this position, but it's the fact that, you know, this character's design isn't that great to begin with, and then you're also limiting the amount of characters that you can have on the crew in order to make this character work. Just all in all, just makes this character just very unpleasant to use. The thing is it is also a Sulong character, so a lot of these Sulongs will have very similar abilities in their captain effects, where they can enable your normal attacks to bypass enemy defensive effects. And while that is a very powerful ability in One Piece Treasure Cruise, the issue really arises when you can only really get it guaranteed when you're in their dual form. So when you're in the dual form, yeah, you just bypass defensive effects, no issues whatsoever. However, number 1, the dual form only lasts for 1 turn when you activate their switch ability, so that's obviously a bit of an issue. But then when you have a look at their, you know, their solo captains, yes, they do have the capability of bypassing defensive effects with their normal attacks, but only when they're above 85% HP. Now, if that was just it, you could probably work around it in some way, shapes, and forms. However, the other inbuilt ability in their captain effect that works just completely against this ability is the fact that every turn you lose like 15% of your max HP or 10% of your max HP at the end of every turn. So if you're running especially double Carrot and the Sulongs here, you're going to be losing a bunch of HP. I think when you multiply it together, it's a 10%, then a 10%. It's not combined to be 20%. I think it's like a 1.9 times reduction every single turn. So yeah, it ends up stacking pretty quickly. And yes, their switch effect does have the ability to provide a bit of healing, but it doesn't offset the amount of damage that you're going to be taking. So the design just doesn't make sense. And then when you keep all of that in mind, so you can see that, you know, you want a bit high HP, but they have health reductions. The combined captain guarantees it. You only get it for 1 turn. And then on top of that, they have a Rush Sugo special, which lowers your character's HP, which I'm not 100% sure how this works, but I'm not 100% sure exactly, but if you fall below the health threshold, do you still bypass defensive effects? I think you still do. I think you have to have the health threshold before you attack, so technically that does still work, but then again, like, it's just kind of counterintuitive, because if the enemy revives, or if you have to take a second turn of attacks and you've activated the Rush Sugo special, now you're no longer above that HP threshold, and also their combined captain only works for 1 turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, just design-wise, doesn't really make a ton of sense. So yeah, it's just kind of annoying. And once again, it's a barrier penetration unit with the potential ability, but the barrier penetration only works when you're above 50%. So if you do use them as a sub, then you do have to keep that in mind as well. So yeah, really weird stuff. Just talking outside of that though, outside of their captain ability and the weird funky stuff that they have going on, The special ability of this unit is actually, like, not terrible, I suppose. The ability, when you combine them into their dual form, is slightly different from their solo form. So the best version of their special will give -2 turns of cooldown to the crew. They do have special reverse resistance, which is good. However, it is annoying that in their... If you just use their special ability at base level, it only gives 1 turn of cooldown, but if you use the special in their dual form, it's 2 turns of cooldown. I really wish that was a little bit different. I wish that both forms provided 2 turns of cooldown. Would have definitely made this character a lot easier to use. The special ability in their dual form also removes 7 turns of attack down, so nice little bit of utility there. And then also gives you a 1.7 chain addition for 1 turn, and also boosts crew's attack based on the damage reduction effect applied on the enemy. So if the enemy has a rainbow shield, you get a damage boost that will stack on top. So this is a really neat ability because it is like a new stackable buff, very similar to % damage reduction based attack boost like what some of the Yamato characters have, but instead of being based on how much damage reduction you have, it's based on the enemy's damage reduction. This goes in tandem with their superclass ability, which has the effect to inflict the enemy with a damage reduction effect. So it gives the enemy a 6-turn rainbow shield, which is a 50% rainbow shield. So you do have to be very, very cautious in terms of how you use this ability. You guys will see in the final clip of this video up against one of the GARP challenges. It was against the Navy GARP challenge, and even though, you know, Sakazuki revives, I completely forgot about the fact that the rainbow shield lasted for multiple turns. Luckily, we're able to get through that through other means, and we'll show that towards the end of this video here. But you do have to be very, very cautious of that. So this character is basically designed in a way where it's basically, you know, you're setting up for one big kill turn, and if you don't kill in that kill turn, or the enemy has gimmicks past that kill turn, this character sucks, basically. It is how it comes down to. However, if it's just a generic boss, no revive, no additional mechanics on death, this character can potentially work for you. But you still have to make your way to that final boss, get through everything else before that. So yeah, still, it's a little bit of a weird one. Also, very similar to the Dex, Sulong, you know, Cat Viper and Dogstorm that came out. The way that this character, in terms of what they boost strength dex and quick characters, but they also give like other buffs to fighter, slasher, shooter, and striker. So it's very similar to those Dex Sulongs, where it's strength dex quick, fighter, slasher, shooter, striker, so do keep that in mind as well. So characters that are Cyan Int won't get a higher damage output, or characters that are, you know, not focused on any of those 4 primary classes, then yeah, you do have to be very cautious of that as well. But even with all of those conditions in mind, in terms of the colors, the classes, and the superclass characters required in order to trigger the superclass special, it's actually not that difficult to build a solid team with this unit as captain, because, you know, it's relatively accessible. There's a lot of good units you could potentially use in this slot. Also, something to note as well is that the superclass ability can be activated as a crewmate, so potentially getting the ability to get a damage reduction based attack boost on one of your big burst turns that, you know, it's as I said, it's an ability that you can stack on top of everything else, is actually quite nice to think about. So do keep that in the back of your mind if you're looking for an extra little piece of damage. This character can provide that with that damage reduction focused attack boost. But basically, to summarize, I do feel like this is kind of a forgettable Sugofest exclusive. I mean, when I first pulled this unit, I completely forgot that this character was even in the available pool of characters to get. So yeah, 100%, this is like a really forgettable character. And it's such a shame, really, because a lot of the Sugofest exclusives that come out these days do feel like this kind of category of character, where they're very good for like this one niche piece of content that will come out to basically facilitate this brand new batch, and then once that is gone, like, this character is just never going to be used again. Just another character that's going to be collecting dust. I did have a look at their Rumble kit, and this character is really focused on being like a supporter role style of unit. The interesting thing about this unit, though, is this unit does boost slashers and fighters in Rumble, so potentially running on a fighter team might be kind of interesting. However, fighters kind of need a little bit more damage output. They don't really need a lot of supporter roles, in my opinion, so I don't think this character is going to see play in that regard. And as well, it does take up a Sugofest exclusive position. You know, 55 cost is a lot in a Rumble team, and if you're going to use that, you want to make sure that those slots count, and I really don't think this is one of those characters that can fit that position either. So don't expect a Rumble showcase with this character, unless if something crazy comes out in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it for me, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have pulled this character, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. Do you guys enjoy using this character? I know there's a lot of carrot fanboys out there, fanboys and fangirls. you know, fan people. So I know that there's a lot of Carrot fans out there, one of the most popular characters in the series. So I want to hear your thoughts and opinions about it. Do you like Sulong character? Do you think that she's a good character? Of course, you know, it does include Cat Viper and Dogstorm as well. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.